Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky 194, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to stop in and visit and check out my video. And I got a setup here for the Audi EVO2 here at Kyalami, and isn't that a beautiful car? I mean, they got so many beautiful liveries. Really, they all do. I mean, WRT's got some really killer ones, but I mean, so do the other ones too. They're just got a great looking car. Now, before we get started here, really quick, I want to uh, bit of call out to Benitez and to Todd. I raced with them last night here at in the CP server, in the competition server, and they did a good job. Benitez was running really strong the whole time, and so was Todd, and Antonio was running good too. So they were all right up there. I was up in the running second most of the time, I'm pretty sure, and just drove terrible. I mean, I'm not gonna make excuses. I just drove really bad, just pretty much worn out. But I really wanted to do the race, and just driving pretty awful. Pretty much every bump and every sausage I could hit, I tried to hit pretty much. I don't think I could. I don't think I could have hit them more if I tried to aim for them. But I almost lost it. I don't know, 3 or 4 times. Todd did a great job of dodging me and everything else, and we never even touched. But that's just a good driving by him. And some of it was the car, most of it was me, and I ended up finally crashing out right there, right before the last turn. My tires got in the grass. My left side tire got in the grass, going around that sausage, and the side tire got in the grass, and it shot me over to the right and wrecked it. And I was in second at the time, but I mean, did massive damage. So that was the end of the race. Kind of a bummer because it was only it was a pit stop, so there was only like 10 minutes left, of the race, and I crashed out. So it really kind of bummed me out. But I was sweating and tired and exhausted and didn't get nothing. So that's racing though. That's racing. So, but anyway, it gives me a chance to get a night's sleep, and my arms feel somewhat recovered. So, trying to get back, wanted to work on this and try to work out some of the kinks. Um, One thing is, the car is just, the way this car is, it's an animal. I mean, it's the Audi is, not some real, to me, it's not on the side of driver friendly. It's a little bit more wild when you're really wanting to get everything out of it. So it's not terrible, but I mean, still, I mean, you got to just get up on top of the steering wheel and really have to drive it sometimes. And especially with the brake, I mean, you got to just, again, modulate the brake. If you hit the brake, breathe on it. I don't know how sensitive your brake pedal is, but keep that in mind. Some of these corners, you want to trail brake, it's barely breathing on it. And so, again, just those things you want to keep in mind, but we'll go over some of these things in a setup that you can tone it down to your liking. So let's go ahead and make a lap. That's where I went out. Right there, I hit the grass right there, and it shot me over to the right and killed me. But I'm doing a 15-minute stint, and I changed some stuff on the setup, and it really helped some of the drivability, but my performance is really still right where I want it to be. I don't think it gained really anything. You see my fast right now is a 142.17. Now you remember I started with 83 liters, so same fuel load I had in the race. Go right over that, no problem. And some of it's me. I am terrible at this turns coming up here. Here I'm all right. You could slide it a little bit. It's all right. I took it the way I'm supposed to, but I slid it a few times. Shouldn't, but I did, and it's okay. You don't lose it. Right here is where I stink, and I lost it there once or twice during the race. And I mean, I actually went through here okay that time. That's why I had a decent lap. But it's just that's my whole Achilles heels right there. Looks really good through here. Again, take the bumps okay. I mean, I think it looks all right. A little harsh in the car, but that's the way the audio. It was worse. Trust me when I say it was worse last night. I was sparking every time I went down that hill. I think I was leaving big old heaps of things of sparks. Like a fireworks show. But I think it looks so much better and composed than it did last night. And that's a 141.95. That was my fast lap. You see the mile an hour is 148. So I was doing 148 to 149. I mean, that's really good for there. So, I mean, for what the car is, I think that's very good. So, just in comparison, I tested the Bentley here, which, you know, they updated some, and I'm not sure if they took some of the BOP's been adjusted or what, but it doesn't seem as quick as it used to be here. I mean, it was only doing like 146 or something down the straightaway with a lot less wing, with only like medium wing settings. So this thing's got max wing, and I'm doing 148, 149. So it's a monster even with the wing. But so that's why I left it, because I think it's just better with it. You can attack more and be a lot more aggressive with it. And, you know, if it slides a little bit, it's no big deal. You just catch it and keep going. You don't worry about looping it and all those kinds of things. Compared to the Porsche here, you know, run near the same times, and I think I'm running like 144, 145. So again, yeah, I think it's like 145. So again, that's like about 3 to 4 miles an hour. And that's about common between the Porsche and other cars. So again, I think it's really good. So let's go over to setup. All my laps were in the 42s. Every single lap, even the first lap, which the tires were still cold, was a 42. But they were all basically from a 40, other than the 41. But every one of them was a low. Most of them were all low 42 zeros, 20s, 30s, things like that. So I think that's good for that pace with that fuel load. We got 25.7 left front, 25.5 right front, 26.3 left rear, and 25.8 right rear. The toe on the front's negative 0.05, with the camber at negative 3.9 on the left front, negative 3.8 on the right front. The caster's 13.6. The toe on the rear is a positive 0.1, with the camber at negative 3.1 on the left rear and negative 3 on the right rear. Electronics are 3, 3, and 3. I just got 3, 3, 3. Fuel had 83 liters, like I said, with the number 1 brake pad. Mechanical, got the anti-roll bar all the way over at 4. Brake bias, now this is where you can really help with the rear end. If the rear end slides a little bit too much for you, I would move this up to 56 or 57. Okay, that's where I would start at and work your way down as you need it. That will help the back end from sliding out when you're trying to trail brake going into a corner if it's hard for you to modulate it. So again, I strongly recommend, if you have problems with the rear end sliding out, if you're trying to trail brake a little or this or that, just back this up to like 56 or try 57 and try it, and then work your way back in. So again, I was at 50. I started out 55 and actually went to 54. I would not go any more than 54. That's the max. I would not go. The back end, even then, is you got to really be careful with it. But again, I would keep it, you know, around between 55 and 57 is where I would start. Steering's all the way down. Springs on the front are 153,000 with a bump stop rate of 1,000 and a bump stop range of 3. And on the rear, the springs are 173,000 with a bump stop rate of 800 and a bump stop range of 12. Anti-roll bar is 3, and the preload on the diff is 90. Now, all these have been changed. I have changed every single thing on this page from the race. So, again, the sway bar was less. The springs, I had one click stiffer springs, and that was some of the problem, as it was taking the bump so hard and bouncing around and hitting things, and so I actually am not getting the grip that I wanted, so I actually went down one click all the way around. But on the bump stop rates, when you're going over all those dips, you know, you're going down the hill, and that's why I was sparking a lot and things like that and upsetting the car. I had the bump stop rates at a lot softer settings, so I stiffened them way up, and still about the same range. The range is about the same. That's close, even though it's not the same, but it's close. But the bump stop rates are dramatically increased, and that's to keep the car under control going over these bumps and keep it from, just bottoming out and sparking and all those kinds of things. And then anti-roll bar here on the rear, I actually knocked back to try to take some of the slide out. Now, if you think the car slides too much in the back, you can just knock this down one more. So that's up to you. But again, that's, try it here first. And the preload on the diff, again, is about the same. I actually increased it to 90. It was 80 in the race, and I went to 90. It just seems like it just, if it does, you slide a teeny bit, you get on the gas, it actually just drives right through it. So it's not so bad. So that's why I like that. Shocks on the front are 8, 1, 19, and 3 on the front, and they're 9, 2, 16, and 4 on the rear. So again, a lot of Motec stuff here. Changed some things through here also. And of course, when you change all these bump stops, the rates and ranges, it changes the Motec settings. So again, that's why all those things, every time you're changing springs, changing all these things, it changes Motec. And here's the latest one. I think it's a big improvement. That's the fast lap, the one I showed. It's a big improvement over what it was. So again, I think it's very uniform. It looks good. They're all right around 49 to 50 in that range. So I really like that, and it has a nice, before there was some real big spikes here and there. So again, I really think that it's better. Always can room for adjustment, but it's way better. So again, just wanted to show you that I do use it. I just don't say I do. I want you, that's why I show it to you, just to show that I'm not might say that I'm the best at it, but I do try to use it. But the front's 55, the rear's 62, the wing is maxed out, and the front and the ducts are 3 and 3, and the front aero variation is a negative 2.8. So again, I tried with a 4 wing, and to be honest, the mile an hour is exactly the same. I didn't see it's not even noticeable. It's the same mile an hour, and sometimes I've actually got more out of this. So I think it's just because I'm getting a better drive coming off that last corner down the straightaway. So again, there's no loss. And if there's no loss or hardly any loss, I'm definitely going to go with more wing, because then you can get more aggressive with other settings and braking hard. And I'm braking really hard. That's one thing I noticed, even with, comparing, BMWs like Todd and Benitez and all them, but BMWs are super good on the brakes, and I was every bit as good. I mean, I was braking very late, and doing, and solid. That wasn't the problem. My other problem was other things, and me wasn't braking. So again, the cars got super, super good on the binders. So again, I still say it's a really solid package. You might have to adjust it to your driving style. Again, just keep in mind about the brake bias and the rear anti-roll bar for the rear end if you don't like the way it is. Of course, you can knock this down 1. I would, 1 click. I wouldn't do more than that. If you want to go down 1, that would, take a little bit of the going in the corner entry out. But just be careful, because, you don't want to start understeering real bad later and this and that. So again, try to keep it close to what it is, and use the brake to modulate how you like it, whether it's, trail braking or less trail braking and those kinds of things. And again, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you give me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And thank you to Peter for his support. And again, I do leave a link to this in the base. The setup link will be in the description, and of course, the PayPal link will be in the description also, if anybody wants to help support the channel that way. Liking, subscribing, watching my video, all those things are support, or PayPal. So I appreciate any of those is great, and I really do thank everyone. And I hope you come back and visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.